Practice speaking English while chatting about Japanese grammar. My friend Yukiko, who is a serious English learner, is hoping to be able to explain Japanese grammar more in English in her classes where she works as a Japanese online professional teacher. For her English training, we will review the Tokiny and the Genki textbook review series and discuss the learner's perspective on Japanese grammar while practicing the practical English phrases he uses already. Let's start it. How are you, Yukiko?
Okay, I'm good. Thank
Okay.
you. How are you?
Less busy. Oh, the very surprising things recently I noticed was that I thought that I had a really busy April. So I feel like I renewed my record of the sales in 1 month in April. Then the May just ended, right? So the stats of my platform showed actually May's sales exceeded the April, and I was really shocked because May I had 4 holidays. With 4 holidays, I exceed April? How could that happen? Well, that's what I thought.
What do you mean? So exceed is
Exceed.
what's that?
Exceed. 超える
Oh, May.
surpass.
Okay. 5
So,
月は
yeah,
4月を超えた
May succeed. Yeah, exceeded. Yes.
Oh, that's good.
That's good. I was really surprised. Wow, what? How could that happen? I worked with 4 holidays, and April I worked, every day, right? Because no holiday April. Yeah. Okay.
That's good. That's nice.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's surprising. That was surprising. Yeah. Alrighty, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Today's first topic is the Tara. And do you remember Tara's video of the Andy?
Tara's video.
Yes. What do you remember?
Tara's Tara.
What do you remember?
Okay.
Nothing.
So many things.
So many things you
Nothing.
remember.
So many things. I wrote it down. So
Yeah.
many things.
You do.
Maybe okay. The impressive things. So one of the impressive things is Tara is da. So to separate. So
Okay.
Andy said. So you need may easier to think of this as da. You need to be aware that it is referred to as Tara. It makes more sense to think of it as a single particle called da.
Okay, yeah. We're gonna listen to that part. Okay, so I'm gonna start it.
Okay.
So today's first topic is common conditional Tara, and what I I was really kind of what I saw in Andy's video is he complained a lot in the beginning of this section. Do you remember what he said? He said I rant. So what he complained is why this important grammar appeared such later, order in the entire context. So this is Genki lesson, like a Genki 2, lesson 17, but it should have appeared much earlier, they should cover Genki 1. And Andy also mentioned it was very I totally agreed with him, but yeah, before they explained Tara, they introduced the phrase they already used たら。行ったらどうですか？走ったらどうですか？ Like たらどうですか phrase introduced earlier than explaining たら, which doesn't make sense. Why? But also like bar conditional. There's another conditional, bar conditional. But Genki introduced bar conditional before they introduced 行けばよかった。来ればよかった。You know, like they introduce phrase first and they don't care about explaining this grammar point. And Andy rounded it. But after the rant part, this is what he explained. So let's listen. Video at 22 minutes 33 seconds.
Let's go ahead and jump into the common conditional, which should have come in lesson 13 or before. So, a conditional, it just means if, right? So, this conditional is tara, and it means if A, then B. In the situation where we have sentence A, tara, sentence B. So, it can mean if A occurs, then B. It can also mean when A occurs, then B. It depends on the situation, not the sentence structure. It's going to depend on the context. It can also mean if A were to occur, then B. So hypothetical situations, right? You can use tara in all of those situations. Tara covers probably the most different situations of any of the possible conditionals in Japanese. We will go over later in this section the difference between nara, which is the only other conditional we've gone over so far in Genki. And I'll go over a quick example that can clearly show you what the difference is, because they all do have some subtle differences. Nara and tara are actually quite different, and you'll see what I mean when we get to those examples. But let's go over how to use it first. Now, it may be easier for you to think of tara as just da. The reason for that is because it's actually the past tense of e-adjectives, verbs, datta plus a da. So the ta in tara is the end of a past tense. For example, tabeta da. So the past tense verb of taberu, to eat, tabetara. Short form past adjective plus datta, da. So the ta is part of datta, the past tense of da. And same in the nouns. So it may be easier to think of this as da, but if you look it up in any dictionary or any textbook, it's always going to be tara. So you need to be aware that it is referred to as tara. But when you're learning it, I think it makes more sense to think of it as a single particle called da. So that's how I'm going to color it in this lesson. But just keep in mind, we're referring to tara if you're looking it up anywhere else. So some example sentences. 美味しかったらもう少し食べます。
美味しかったらもう少し食べます。
I'll eat a little more. So here's the if, then. Just a straight if this, then that. That's Genki goes over about 3. Most of their explanation comes down to is trying to express the fact that it's if then in a bunch of extra words. There are some little subtleties with this that we're going to go through, but generally speaking, tara is just a simple if then statement if you know anything about programming. So 美味しかったらもう少し食べます. If it tastes good, I'll eat a little more. 仕事が終わったら飲みに行こう. If we finish work, let's go drinking. Or when we finish work, let's go drinking. So what is the difference here? Why is it both meanings? Well, textual. So for example, say you're at work one day and you're complaining because you've got so much to do. You're positive that you're not going to be able to finish today. You think you're going to have to work until 1 in the morning. So your coworker comes over and says to you, ねえ、仕事が終わったら飲みに行こう. In this situation, because you actually might not finish work, this one means if we finish work, let's go drinking. But if you never have overtime and you always go home at 5 o'clock, you always finish work on time, doesn't matter how much you have, that's the kind of job you have, then this sentence would mean when we finish work, let's go drinking, because obviously you're going to finish work. So if your friend in that company comes up to you and says, 仕事が終わったら飲みに行こう, that's more of a when we finish work, let's go drinking. Okay, so
Yeah. So far, Andy is explaining tara is used for like when you want to feel like to use if or when. So event, if
Yes.
event, oh, if sentence A, event 1, then event B. Okay. And so what's the Andy said is that Yukiko said la la la. So okay, can you tell me again about la?
Okay. So Genki textbook is written as a Tara, so Tara grammar. But so actually, so when you use when you make the sentence, so past tense plus la, past tense plus la. So that's why it is just a moment. It may be easier to think of this as da
Yeah.
and la.
For example, if you think about past tense plus tara, like technically you're gonna say tabeta tara, right? So it's not the
Tabeta-tara.
case.
Yeah.
美味しかったtara. It's not the case. The last represent actually past like conjugation like part already. So you just make past tense and add la. That's the normal way of thinking. And yeah, it is really I think it's really important for Japanese speaker to like feel like ta sound when we hear ta sound itself represents this past nuance, right? So for example 食べる食べた美味しかった元気だった So a lot of case actually small t plus ta appeared. Of course 食べた doesn't have small t, but here 美味しかった元気だった先生だった So it's all kind of a lot of case combining small t and ta. And when here it is like okay, this is past tense, this is past nuance. Okay, we are talking about past things. Yeah, even like the verb, like some verb doesn't have small t, however, others do. For example, 作ったら、踊ったら、帰ったら. So a lot of case like small t and ta is really really important, like the kind of item to represent past tense to me. What do you think?
Yeah, and plus I think additionally, so 泳ぐ, so like 泳ぐ is so te form is 泳いで and the past tense is 泳いだ and the 泳いだ in this case 泳いだら. So that's why actually 何だったかな practically,
Okay.
so we can say tara. So not everything is tara. So some cases you need to use dara, oyoidara.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That's great too. Yes. So 一段は食べたら that's straightforward
Yeah,
tara.
so that's
But
why Andy what Andy explain makes sense. I think. Yeah.
That's great. Okay, yes. 飲んだら、読んだら、Okay, 踏んだら、んだ、or 泳いだら. Yes. So you just see this structure. You are just adding actually only la, that like a tool to make up this if clause or when clause. And Andy explained when, like how can you interpret if or when. And actually, it's not that big things. For example, Yukiko said, 仕事が終わったら飲みに行こう. So, as Andy explained, Yukiko might have just said that, okay, when you finish, let's go drinking. However, for me, 仕事が終わったら飲みに行こう, such a not sure things. Okay, I might finish work, but I might not be able to finish work. In that case, I take it as a if. 仕事が終わったらね. So you have to consider 仕事が終わらない would be another case that might that might be my response. But anyway, so if and when is not important, but let's conditional this situation, then we do nominiko. And Andy also explained the negative case, right?
Negative case?
Yes.
I don't know that.
If
okay.
What do you
アンディが
remember?
来るなら、
No. If the event one doesn't occur, then
negative.
event B.
Okay.
Can you make a sentence?
Okay. 仕事が終わらなかったら、
そう。仕事が終わらなかったら、
会社で泊まろう。
会社に泊まる。飲みに行けない。
飲みに行けない。
はい。美味しいネガティブ。
美味しくなかったら、
美味しくなかったら、はい。
食べたくない。
元気
美味しくなかったら、らがいります。
ありがとう。
美味しくなかったら、
元気じゃ
元気じゃなかったら、明日は遊びに行けないな。
遊びに行けない。先生じゃなかったら
先生じゃなかったら。
教えない方がいい。Okay, this is the negative case. So what Andy wanted to say is just it's same. It doesn't matter if that event A is affirmative or negative. So if actually in negative case, why I listed up all because it's really clear. So all 9 past tense. So then they gonna be all なかったら pretty straightforward. なかったら then blah blah blah. Because 9's past tense is なかった, right? So it's pretty simple. And yeah. Besides what Andy explained, how do you explain like Tara grammar to your students, Yukiko?
Tara grammar. Actually, I have never explained Tara grammar. So yeah, I have encountered practicing together with my student, but it's only two students. Two students. So practice together, and so in their case, so they read by themselves. So that's why I didn't explain it. But so if I add some information,
yes,
this whiteboard, so 仕事が終わったら飲みに行こう. So Andy says, so depending on the context, what you want to say, so if and when possible. And then, so if, so you can say, so もし仕事が終わったら, so もし you can add もし is like more like so percentage is low. These things occur, or so these things come true is low percent. In this case, so sometimes we can say もし仕事が終わったら or 仕事が終わったら飲みに行こう. But so when we don't say もし.
Okay.
So this is additional things.
Okay. わかった。So, if it's just a Tara, we usually do not use this moshi item, but if it's more like a hypothetical or not that much hypothetical, but it's really in probability low.
Probability low.
確率が低い。Probability low. So not that probable. So it is after conditional is how much degree it's true, right? So if 100% true, we don't use Tara. What we use? We use.
When?
No. If 100% true, if that condition always make realize, we usually use to. Event A.
Okay. Okay.
To. Event B. This is 100%. So always happens.
But we have not yet practiced. We haven't encountered yet.
I don't much remember, but anyway. So Tara is, as Andy mentioned, so this grammar covers probably the most different situations of conditionals that he said in his video, which means so Tara has like this, really real person to like 99% like covered so many like conditionals.
I think so.
Yeah, like even we could say like almost 100%, right? For example,
almost 100%.
For example, what Yukiko mentioned here, like when we want to use Tara for like this usage of when, then this is all like pretty close to 100%. Yeah, like
家に帰ったら
電話します。宿題をします。ご飯を食べます。That's no reason to condition. Like if you think about English way of thinking. Yeah, so then what is Tara here is like there is like another insight or different insight than what you're gonna use for if in English, I guess. And what I want to emphasize here is like what he emphasized here, like then. So why he used the if event 1, then event win. Okay, what here important is I saw a big I saw a big spider. I saw a big spider into a trash bag. By themselves. Okay, so if them means okay, we just reviewed what's the ta means. Ta represents past nuance for native speakers. So when we hear ta is always past. Okay, then here let's review the event order. So when event 1, then event B. So what's the event order? Which event occur first?
Okay, first. So first is event 1.
Yeah, exactly. So order is always this.
Yes, order is always
家に帰ったら電話します。I'll never call you if I don't get home. 家に帰ったら宿題します。I'll never do homework if I don't get home. So it has to be like the first event has to be the event 1. Then for the first time, event 2 will take place. So event 1, event 2, this order is very important. Why that happened? Because we're gonna make past tense. Once event 1 action becomes past, then event 2 occur. So like how it's like connected past nuance used to this grammar is just as it is literal. Like okay, event 1 becomes past, then we take place this event 2. So this past nuance is very important like concept to me. Like what is Tara grammar for me is just it is past. You condition one action past, then what's next? What's the next event will come or occur. Okay, so this and by this way of thinking, I think it's really easier to like picture what's the difference between nara and tara conditional. Okay, let's listen Andy's video. 29 minutes 18 seconds. Oh.
All right, so here is the difference between nara and tara, and I feel like this example, I got this from the grammar dictionary, basic dictionary of basic Japanese grammar. I don't know if you can see it back there. No, you can only see lenses. Excellent book if you don't have it. It has tons of extra explanations on things like this, and that's where I nabbed these two sentences from because I thought they were perfect. They completely express the difference between nara and tara, or they perfectly express the difference between nara and tara. So let's take a look. Ando-san ga kitara kairimasu. So in this situation with the, this sentence means if or when Ando-san comes, I'll go home. Maybe I'll go home with him, or I'm waiting for him to take over for me. Ando-san ga kitara kairimasu. Now take a look at nara. Ando-san ga kuru nara kairimasu. If it's true that Ando-san will come, I'll go home. Now, this could actually be pretty cheeky. It might mean if that guy's coming, I'm going home. Ando-san ga kuru nara ore kairimasu. In that situation. So there's tone and context that is expressing that. But it could also mean that if it's true that Ando-san's going to come take over for me, then I'll go home. But you can see the difference there, right? The first one is if he comes or when he comes. So he's coming. I'm expecting it. That's when I'm going to go home. This one, I've heard that he's coming. And I'm asking if it's really true that he's coming, I'll go home. So that's the difference between da and nara. Nara is if it's true that. And da is just if, when.
Okay, so Andy stick to this if nara is if it's true that if this condition true, then I do this event to action. But what I would explain is okay, Ando-san ga kitara is like when like Ando-san's kuru action has become past, then I go home. So like until that point nothing happened. So this is my feeling of tara. Ando-san ga kitara kaerimasu. So I'm waiting for Ando-san kuru. Then I will takes place the second event. So yeah, Andy didn't mention this like a sequence of the action at all. Then he just stick to this if, when, and then explanation. So, but to me, it's more important, super important. Like you see, like the first action has been done. Then what? Kind of. What do you think?
Okay, but so this example sentence, I checked this example sentence. I think Ando-san ga kuru nara kaerimasu is like first I comes up first things. So very very rude. It's rude.
ちょっと待って。
Yeah.
安藤さんが来たら帰ります。Could be rude.
安藤さんが来るなら帰ります。It could be rude. Very rude. で、安藤さんが来たら帰ります。Yeah, depending on the context, yeah, could be rude. 安藤さんが来たら帰ります。But so we don't understand. So このままだったらわからない。
Absolutely. Completely understand. I thought that Andy would explain, no, the second one is really rude. But Andy didn't bring up that perspective, and that kind of surprised me. Because this is really rude.
Yeah.
Yes. 安藤さんが来るなら帰ります。Of course, because 安藤さんが来たら帰ります can be anything. As Andy himself explained, 安藤さんが来たら I will take over him. For example, it's a shift. And my shift over when Ando san comes, right? Then it's nothing wrong with rude or anything. It's just a job. Ando san ga
so she want to say hello to Ando san, and so she might has another schedule, but she want to wait Ando san, and then
Yes. So
安藤さんが来るなら帰ります。It's almost rude. Not depending on the context.
yes, okay. So here is my difference between Nara and Tara. Definite difference. Okay, as we just discussed, Kitara has to be super fast, right? So always order is this. Event 1, then event 2. Never opposite. But Nara is super conditional. In fact, this is present. So it's not past tense. It's always present. Okay. So, 安藤さんが来るなら帰ります actually can mean both case scenario. One, 安藤さんが来る, then I go. That's possible. Like, okay, like 今, here's like we are drinking beer together. And Yukiko is saying, 安藤さんが来るなら帰ります. But Yukiko, after all, until 安藤さん comes, drinking. But anyway, she left once Ando-san came, right? So event 1, then event 2. That can be the case. But also, Yukiko once received the information, hey, tonight Ando-san will come. Then once she received the information, she left. Then the order is opposite. So Yukiko go home first, event 2 first. Then Ando-san could make realize in the end. So Nara has this both case. Event 1 can be the first or can be the second. So this order only can make Nara. Because Tara is always has this past nuance that you cannot describe the opposite order event. Never. And I think this is really important point. Yeah, if you interpret if it's true that, but like for me as a native speaker, of course I've never realized like if it's true that kind of course it is like I know in the bottom of my heart probably I'm thinking about this like nuance. However, what I feel is like okay, if this event is first, then I'm gonna make the Tara sentence, and okay, the order is cannot be decisive, then I would use Nara. Kinda. Okay, so can you wrap up in Japanese?
No.
No.
No. What do you mean?
Yeah. 日本語で言ってみて。奈良とタラの違いを日本語でまとめてみて。サブスクライブありがとうございます。ピカチュウ。OK, go.
OK です。OK。奈良の場合は、実際。なんていうのかな。奈良の場合は、時勢難しい。奈良の場合はイベント、初めのイベント、2番目のイベント、での順番の時と、2番目のイベント、初めのイベントの順番の時と、2つある。
そうね、2つできる。どっちもできる。それが違いですね。
でもタラはもう初めのイベント、2番目のイベントの順番でしか表現できない。
そうだね。Yes. Yeah, so Andy's point is Tara is used when or if that's the case, but Nara is if it's true. If you condition this statement is true, then event 2, like a sentence 2 will take place. And yeah, for my like a native speaker's perspective as myself, is more like order. It's more like order to me. Because tara is such a past conjugation needed grammar that it's always like, like followed by order, sequence. Like in my mind, it's sequence. 家に帰ったら電話します is absolutely sequence. Okay, first action, 家に帰る。Then, second action, 電話する。It's like sequence. And one more tips for you, Yukiko. People.
One more tip.
One more
Okay.
tips. People lives in Kansai area. They love to use tara. Do you know that? Have you ever noticed? I'm really shocked. 関西人はタラをめちゃくちゃたくさん使います。
I have heard from the school.
Okay. I see. Of
Yeah.
course. Yeah. What do you think
I
about
don't
it? Yeah.
I don't.
The genuine feeling is that that's normal how we form
Tara.
sentences, and we couldn't
Yeah.
tell if it's like we use too much or we use tara like frequently, like because I've never like observed other like regional dialect speakers wouldn't use tara as frequent as we do. I've never noticed. So it was really interesting that someone would say, oh, you guys use a lot of tara. But this is funny point. It is not like, okay, in this case you have to use this tool. In this case you have to use this tool. Not at all. Like, yeah, like we have this tara and to, and Andy mentioned ba, and also we have one more, hold on, nada, right? Ba conditional and to conditional. Yeah, so we can change and interchangeable, and sometimes it's not all the time, of course. So as Andy mentioned, each has some subtlety. And tara is the one covers the most wide area they can cover, but to is also like covered pretty well. And ba, what's that characteristic? Nara, what's the characteristic that each lessons like a different point they focused, and we already get into nara last time, and today tara. So yeah, that's it for tara. It was very important grammar, but just my recommendation is please keep in mind this like past nuance. That's very important already. What's next?
Okay, Tara. Next is 手もいいです。
はい、わかりました。手もいいです。Okay, important grammar, not important, not that important grammar. どっちNo comment. Okay.
手もいいです。Okay, but
どうかな
でも、もっと手もいいです。Okay, 手もいいです is so negative? Maybe negative plus 手もいいです。
あ、そうだね。そうだね。
Yeah, so maybe we went covered. We had already
そうだね。
covered 手もいいです chapter
Okay.
8 or 7 like that.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, let's start. You don't need to. So, as you just said, 手もいいです is actually introduced lesson 6. 手 form grammar. 手もいいです。And here is a negative. That's it, right? Negative 手もいいです。And let's listen what Andy said first. His video at 34 minutes.
You don't need to in Japanese. Let's review something really quick. Remember, 手もいいです. In other words, you may do something. And 手もいいですか? May I do something? Well, today we're going to be covering the negative form of that, which is 手 form もいいです which means you do not need to do something. It's basically the same thing, just the negative. But you don't use this, well, actually, you can use this with a question mark. 食べなくてもいいですか? Is it okay if I do not eat? So you can use it that way. I don't think I have any examples in this section like that, but just know that that is a thing. So to use this, you take the negative short form of a verb, cut off the e, and add くてもいいです. It'll look better with the examples. Same with negative e adjectives. Cut the e, くてもいいです. Non-adjectives, じゃなくてもいいです. And nouns, じゃなくてもいいです. So basically here, you're cutting the e off じゃない and adding くて. But I just thought it looked better like this. じゃなくてもいいです. Let's go over some examples. 食べなくてもいいですよ. You don't have to eat, you know. Let's get rid of the chat. You don't have to eat, you know. 食べなくてもいいですよ. You could also make that a question if you wanted to. 食べなくてもいいですか? Is it okay if I don't eat? おいしくなくてもいい. It doesn't have to be delicious. So you can drop the des, just like you can in the previous lesson 6, てもいい. きれいじゃなくていい. You can also drop the もじゃなくていい. That's also perfectly fine, very casual, but you can do it. It doesn't have to be pretty. きれいじゃなくていい. あなたじゃなくてもいいです. It doesn't have to be you.
Okay, yes. Well, so if you use with like an affirmative, it is like this. 食べてもいいよ. You can eat. 食べてもいいよ. But here, 食べなくてもいいですよ. Okay, what do you think? When would you like to use?
食べなくてもいいですよ。So when my friend come to my house, my friends come to my house, and so I prepare the food, and so it seems like so they eat hard, or so try to be hard to eat something. So because I have a lot of, so there are a lot of, so how should I say, I cook a lot, too much. So then I said, 食べなくてもいいですよ。食べれるだけでいいですよ。Like
I love it. And your explanation is perfect. But okay, you have to explain it. Okay, what if you have to explain it without story? And how can you concisely explain this like story's key point is that okay, so 食べてもいい 食べてもいい is you can eat, right? 食べてもいい
Yeah,
But 食べなくてもいい is asking you are expected to eat, right? So expectation, what's the expectation here? Okay, so you are invited to Yukiko's house. So your expectation is to take Yukiko's food because you are a guest. So that's why everybody, listeners, speakers, share the expectation. Okay, guest should eat the food offered. But if you want to kind of oppose the expectation, then you're gonna use this grammar. 食べなくてもいいですよ. I think you feel like you have to eat, but actually it's not the case. So don't worry about it, that expectation. 食べなくてもいいですよ。はい。美味しくなくてもいい。何でもいい。ご飯を作ってお願い。So nobody say 美味しくてもいい, right? So because 美味しい is such a solid expectation for food. 美味しくてもいいですか is never because such an absolute expectation.
Yeah, so it's a joke maybe.
But okay, I just want to eat something. So 美味しくなくてもいい. I know that people expect to be 美味しい. However, I don't care. I want to eat something. 美味しくなくてもいい. Please make something. 何か作ってください。はい。はい。じゃあ、私の部屋に来る?綺麗じゃなくてもいい? So, is it okay if it's not clean? Nobody say 綺麗でもいい like because 綺麗 is such a preferable condition that you don't have to ask is it okay to be 綺麗 is it okay to be 美味しい that's such a normal things people expect. So if you want to refer the expectation and the opposite condition situation, you're gonna say 綺麗じゃなくてもいいでも、you can sleep, you can crash in it 寝ていいよ OK あなたじゃなくてもいい Okay, you expect it has to be you, however, it is not the case. あなたじゃなくてもいい is such a rude or like very, very sad phrase. あなたじゃなくてもいい Okay, yeah. This is the last day. You're gonna leave your office. And
Yeah.
you realize, okay, this job is not あなたじゃなくてもいい But yeah, so this is how we use あなた noun プラスじゃなくてもいい。きれいな adjective プラスじゃなくてもいい。おいしいいい adjective. That's why you're gonna conjugate with く。おいしくなくてもいい。食べない食べなくてもいい。Okay, by the way, if you say あなたでもいいよあなたでもいいよ is you are just including as an option. Okay, that can be you. It's also Japanese people do not like that much this way of thinking. あなたでもいい You know, okay, now you feel like this でも demos like strong function. でも demo is just listing up. listing up the option. Okay, option is you, あなた. And option Another option is あなたじゃない。Okay, あなたでも、あなたじゃなくてもいい。If you say あなたじゃなくてもいい like literally you can actually you are implying あなたでもいい however あなたじゃなくてもいい like this is like a double-edged sword if you say the one side of the edge you are implying another side of the edge あなたでもいいよあなたじゃなくてもいいよBut anyway, so when the expectation is like, you know, like shared, and if you want to go to the different direction, that's I think this grammar is used. So 食べなくてもいい is you oppose to the expectation of eating. 働かなくてもいい is you oppose to the expectation of working. What else? Do you want to add something?
Nothing.
Okay. And what do you think like this grammar appeared in this phase? This phase of the like in Genki lesson 17. I found it really impractical because we already learned this short form ない食べる食べない So once we learned 食べる食べない then you can use this phrase, right? 食べなくてもいいですよ
Yes. 食べなくてもいいです。
Yeah, but it's really like until the lesson 17 they didn't mention.
Yeah. Yes. Short form negative.
Yeah, it is just it should have included short form negative practice because I believe that demo is such important grammar. You know, you're listing this like options. あなたじゃなくてもいい、あなたでもいい。You know, you have to develop this demo's idea. But until lesson 17, they didn't give you the opportunity. That's super lame, I think, already. What's next?
Okay. Looks like. Looks like.
Looks like. How do you like Dandy's explanation?
Maybe maybe there is a one explanation incorrect.
Oh, interesting. Okay,
is a one. Yeah.
it's gonna be fun then.
Mm.
Okay, 41. It looks like. What is this grammar is about?
Okay. It looks like みたい。
Mitai. Okay, so let's listen what Andy explains about this grammar. Here we go.
Let's go ahead and jump into it looks like. This is similar to the so des from lesson 13, which we alluded to in the beginning of this lesson in section 1. But this time it's mitai desu, so we take the short form plus mitai desu, and it means look like. It sort of has the same meaning as so desu, but we're going to talk about the difference here right now. So for verbs, you take the short form of a verb plus mitai desu. It looks like that verb. Nouns, noun plus mitai desu. This means that maybe, for example, a person looks like this noun. Now, you can use mitai desu with e adjectives, for example, negative e adjectives, and with na adjectives. I can't remember why I have negative here. We'll figure that out. But it's not very common. It's much more common to use so desu with e adjectives and na adjectives. So, for example, oishii so is far more common than oishii mitai desu. Much more common to say oishii so desu. So just keep that in mind that the most common way of using mitai desu is with verbs and nouns. So I'm going to mostly cover those today. I will maybe throw in one or two examples with any adjective though. So our first example sentences are inu mitai desu ne. They look like a dog, don't they? Inu mitai desu ne. Or it looks like a dog, doesn't it? Okotteiru mitai desu ne. Or okotteiru mitai. It looks like they are angry. Okotteiru mitai. Watashi mo wasureta mitai desu. So you can also use it in this situation to, like, in reference to yourself. It looks like I forgot as well. Watashi mo wasureta mitai desu. So it doesn't necessarily have to be you're looking at another person and seeing that, you know, it looks like they forgot something. It can also be in reference to yourself. Watashi mo wasureta mitai. Watashi mo wasureta mitai. It looks like I forgot as well.
食べるみたいです。怒ってるみたいです。忘れたみたいです。Okay, so far, Andy explained this two direction. This grammar can be used with for all formations. Verb. You can use it with short form. Noun. You can use it in adjective. But what did he say?
Okay, so e adjective and na adjective. So the most of the case you can use so desu. So in the conversation, in Japanese conversation, we usually use so desu instead of mitai. E adjective and na adjective.
That's right. So what's the common case we use with mitai?
Mitai. Okay, mitai is so.
According to Andy.
According to Andy. Okay, according to Andy is so maybe looks like so look something and so you feel something or you think something and so when you explain you can use mitai.
Yeah. So according to Andy, we use mitai combined with verb and noun mostly, and we tend not to use e adjective or na adjective with mitai. That's he said, right? Uncommon. So it's uncommon to hear the adjective plus mitai combined. On the other hand, 食べるみたい、怒ってるみたい、先生みたい、ゴリラみたい。So this kind of like combination is often used. Okay, do you agree?
Okay, so I want to say two things. So one thing is Andy's incorrection. So this Andy's explanation. So there is a one thing incorrection. How should I say? So incorrection.
No.
そう間違ってるとこが一つある。
There is one thing, it's like one incorrect thing, so there's something incorrect.
There is one incorrect things. So this is おいしいみたい、おいしいそう。So you can say instead おいしyou can say おいしそう instead of おいしいみたい。Maybe おいしいそう、おいしいそう is correct. おいしそう、おいしいそうです。あの店はおいしいそうです。あの店はおいしいみたいです。Is the identical? Same meaning, but おいしそう is no おいしい。Yeah. で、みたい。
After the 17 lesson, Yukiko finally said no to Andy. Such a happy moment to me. No. No. I love it.
Yeah, and yes, and second, I want to say, so Andy says, so it's uncommon to use e adjective plus みたい, and so you can use plus so. E adjective, no adjective plus so. Yeah, so in the formal conversation, I agree with that. But in the casual conversation, talking with my friend, I usually use おいしいみたい、おいしい、元気みたいだよ. So, like that. But おいしそうだよ. Maybe I don't say that. おいしそうだよ。あの店おいしそうだよ。No, I don't say that.
Okay, so Yukiko's point. Let's wrap up. So Yukiko's first point is Andy mentioned uncommon, and Yukiko disagreed. And Yukiko's explanation is that okay, e adjective おいしいみたい. Andy said Japanese people tend to say おいしそう. And actually for native speakers they are different. That's different information, Andy, dude. That's how we felt. And Yukiko said おいしいみたい is casual way of saying from おいしいそうです. Remember the previous lesson we practiced reporting そうです. What we heard is おいしい. おいしいみたいです is like other people's information hearsay. So as 元気みたいです。あずみさんの旦那さん元気みたいです。あずみさんのお子さん元気みたいです。This is just a hearsay. So 元気だそうです。おいしいそうです。Yeah, if it's formal occasion, we use the formal, and casual. But you know, if we say おいしそう, that's completely different information. Because you know, these two words are after all hearsay, right? What you hear and say. I think this is a spell, hearsay. So as this one. 元気みたいです is also hearsay. But おいしそう is different information. Okay. So おいしいみたい。おいしそう。That is what you heard. That what you received the information. What kind of information received. But おいしそう what is this?
Oishiso is so when you look at the showcase in the bakery shop, and so I say oishiso.
Actually,
So I
this
don't
is
eat. I don't eat food, but we say oishiso. It looks like
美味しそう、
delicious.
元気そう、簡単そう、難しそう is purely your observation. So it's
Observation.
not like you heard from somebody. It's not like others' information. You observed something. Oh my, observe. What is happening? I don't know.
Observation.
Observation. You observed one information and you just stating what you observed. So the observation is fully responsible to you, but you make it clear that I just observed, so I can't guarantee the context or quality itself because I just observed what I can observe from the like external like it's you are not in there, but you are from the external side observing and stating, oh looks 美味しい、美味しそうです。On the other hand, if you hear in 美味しそうです in casual, you say 美味しいみたいです。Okay, then, so yes, we disagree. This is not uncommon or common. This is just different, like conveying different information because they conveying hearsay, what you heard. Okay, then how about common theme? what this is different about? 食べるみたい、怒ってるみたい、忘れたみたい。Let's see. Okay, first of all, is it possible? 忘れたそうです。忘れたそうです possible? But this is only
No.
reporting. Oh, あずみさん、
Yes.
宿題忘れたそうです。Reporting wise, possible. But do you remember そうです look like? Does it work? Doesn't. So, for example, verb stem plus そうです is like 雨が降りそう。あずみさん、宿題忘れそう。We are anticipating the future action going to happen. So never combined with past tense. Yeah, it's verb stem. So if you wanna see like some past action, okay, let's see. I don't know, maybe I should make another line.
Past tense. 忘れたそうです。忘れたそうです。
No. あずみさん、宿題忘れそうです。あずみさん、宿題忘れたそうです。あずみさん、宿題忘れたみたいです。Yes, they're all different. Okay, tell me. あずみさん、宿題忘れそうです。What does that mean?
I guess. So Azumi-san might forget homework tomorrow.
Right, she might. It is future.
Future.
Yeah. あずみさん、宿題忘れたそうです。
忘れたそうです。I have heard that Azumi-san forgot homework today or yesterday. So yeah, past tense.
忘れたみたいです。
忘れたみたいです。So Azumi-san seems like?
そう。
Seems like?
As
Maybe.
I observe. As I
observe.
observed, she seems to
forget. Get homework.
OK。そう、あずみさん、宿題忘れそうです。そう、忘れそう。忘れる verb stem plus そう is only can describes future action, anticipation, future action. 忘れそうです。OK。あずみさん、宿題忘れたそうです。It's over. Past action. You are just reporting what you heard. 忘れたそうです。あずみさん、宿題忘れたみたいです。After all, how do you observe past action? Okay, 忘れたそうです is more solid, right? More clear, more certain. Yeah. But 忘れたみたいです is still, it's within the realm of observation. Nobody guaranteed the fact. You know, observed. And heard. Okay, so which information is more solid, more certain? Okay, if you
second sentence.
yeah, if that's a hard, you hard. Okay, someone probably like a guaranteed, someone assured this condition. 忘れた。そう、忘れたそうです。sounds more certain. And 忘れたみたいです。みたい here it's like it's kind of weird things happening. You see here, おいしそう was observation, right? 元気そう was observation, but here is actually observation. 忘れたみたいです。あずみさん、宿題忘れたみたいです。It's not like a looks like, yeah, looks like, yeah, but, So, 忘れそうです only can describe future, like how the things will go. Future action, she might forget tomorrow. 忘れそうです。But if you want to describe like what you heard, past tense, then 忘れたそうです。or 忘れたみたいです。And how you can differentiate is if you heard そうです。If you observe みたいです。ちょっと待って。Do you feel weird? Because here what we say is opposite. Because the adjective is, おいしいみたいです is hearsay. Right? E adjective. 元気みたいです is hearsay casual. But here we say what we heard 忘れ Okay, no, after all, this is same. Yes. 忘れたみたいです。Yeah. I think I observed and I heard it both can possible. What do you think?
Yes.
As I, yeah, 忘れたみたいです can be like a hearsay information you heard. あずみ forgot 宿題。あずみさん宿題忘れたみたいですよ。Yeah, heard observed. 忘れたそうですよ。Okay, so, So here's my interpretation. Why Andy said verb is common because verb can cover a lot of case. So only can cover future action, right? Verb stem plus so only cover future action. But みたい can cover present tense. 食べるみたいです。怒ってるみたいです。tail form. And 忘れたみたいです。You can even use with like past action to describe past action how you observed. That's why like you can hear more so this with verbs. And noun, you know? Can you use noun plus so?
先生みたいです。先生だそうです。
Yes. So if the reporting verb, we can say hearsay. Hearsay we can use that, but we cannot say 先生そうです。
先生そうですよ。Yes.
Yes, we cannot use this. Of course, we can use 先生だそうです as hearsay, but it is just okay. Let's set aside. And how can I say like okay, she seems to be a teacher. Only みたい can work. So if you want to describe, oh, she looks like a dog, she looks like a gorilla, she looks like a teacher, then you can use mitai, and you cannot use this so tool, so that of course you hear more mitai with nouns. That's how I feel. You know what? Yeah, that's what I say. And I think it might be easier if we just set aside this hearsay. おいしいそうです。元気だそうです。先生だそうです。And compare how it different そうです。And みたい。おいしいみたいです。What you heard. おいしいそうです。What you observed. Your actual action. 忘れそうです。Oh, she's going to do this action. 忘れたみたいです。いや、忘れるみたいです。You never say right? 忘れるみたいです。
Maybe.
忘れるみたいです。食べるみたいです。Yeah, you can say that, but 忘れる is nobody do that action like intentionally. Because
Yes.
like
Yes.
忘れる is such an unintentional action that you cannot combine with so
Yes.
みたい。忘れるみたいです。Okay, of course you can say, you can anticipate or you can guess, okay, she's gonna forget, 忘れそうです. But you cannot say 忘れるみたいです like as if like I intentionally practice 忘れる one action or one fact. Okay, it's gonna become complicated, but that's it. So Yukiko, it's time for you to leave, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
time flies. How was today? How's today's?
Okay. Okay. Tara and Nara. Tara. So I like Tara
Grammar.
parts. Tara grammar. Yeah.
Why?
So Andy says, 安藤さんが来るなら帰ります。安藤さんが来たら帰ります。It's really I was really surprised. Oh, very rude. This sentence. I don't come up with this kind of sentence.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. So this is a big issue, big mistake.
Mistake.
So if Japanese runner use so Nara and Tara, so in this case very very big.
Okay,
Yeah.
this is such a rude sentence that you shouldn't bring it up in the classroom. Well, I didn't think that. I didn't think that way. It's okay. It's a great example sentences for like a comparison. However, what surprised me the most is he didn't mention how this sentence is different. Like how like a intense degree these sentences are different, right? That's the Yukiko's point. You have to make it clear that 安藤さんが来るなら帰ります is such a strong statement. Like okay, even if in this table there's no Ando-san, if you say this, you show you're hostile towards Ando-san, like you displayed such a negative feeling towards Ando-san, like among these people, like your listeners, and you are like you disclose your personal like preference. Like Ando-san, like exposed, like disclosed. And do you want to do that kind of? Yeah, that because you are saying, okay, if that's true, I have to go home. Kind of. Anyway, very good.
Yeah.
So we're gonna continue lesson 18 next week.
Okay. Yes.
Then
18. Okay.
have a good one. Thank you.
Thank you.
また
Bye.
ね。
またね。
Alright. Kairi, Yukiko go home. No, actually, she was home though. But we're gonna continue because I have one more section. And today, after I do one more section, I will read a news article. That's my plan. Here we go. Sequencing events. Okay. Okay, let's test. 45 minutes, 35. Yes.
Final section, Momitai. What does someone close to you look or act like?
Okay. I think I'm ready. Okay, let's continue. Today's last section is sequencing event. Let's listen what Andy said. 45 minutes, 35 seconds.
So let's go ahead and jump into the final section, which is sequencing events. We've got two expressions. The first one we're going to go over is verb A plus mae ni and verb B. So before A, mae ni. Before A occurs, or before A, B. To use it with verbs and just the short form present. Only the short form present plus mae ni. Some example sentences. 食べる前に手を洗って Before you eat, wash your hands. So that's a request. 食べる前に手を洗って A lot of people get on my case recently in comments for saying mai. I often say mai. People love to pick on my pronunciation of mai and 食べる in the comments. Whatever. 行く前に鍵をかけた。
食べる前に手を洗って食べる前に手を洗って So this section introducing like how you can express the event sequence, like the events order. So there's two actions. One, 食べる. The two, 手を洗う. Then how can you make the explicit order is using 前に. Okay, 前 is actually a noun, and noun can be modified by verb without anything here. Verb present tense modify 前 like this. 食べる前に手を洗って So 前 means 何ですか？前 means before. So your action sequence is like this. 手を洗う first, then 食べる。食べる前に手を洗って。Okay. Before I go to Japan, check this temperature. 日本に行く前に気温をチェックして。So, the important things, actually, like, surprisingly, Andy didn't much warn, but it is super common, like a best 3 common mistake for Japanese learners is here, present tense 前に. Okay, what usually people would like mistake is like this, 食べた前に. Yeah, like, of course, since this is a present tense, it might be not the case. 食べた前に宿題をした. So, actually, you should have said 食べる前に宿題をした. But even if the sentence is past, 宿題をした the past tense, you still have to make 食べる the present tense. 食べる前に宿題をした。食べた前に宿題した is completely wrong. And actually, I was interested in how Andy explained this grammar because you really have to do 食べる present tense here, but he didn't. Okay, then what I want to say here is, okay, why Japanese people use 食べる always present tense? Because 前 is before the particular noun. Okay, so 宿題をした is past action, right? Then, which is first? 食べる and 宿題, which is first? Yes, 宿題 is the first, 宿題 first, and 食べる the second. But after all, for the English speaker's mind, both past tense, both past action, then you're gonna say both past tense. 食べた前に宿題をした。But Japanese people's mindset is always standing on the point of main clause only. Yes, you are standing on this point. You just have done 宿題をした。And think about it, like when you did 宿題, have you already eaten or not? You haven't. So the standing point of 宿題をした、食べる hasn't been done, so it's still present. It's still future action on the perspective of the main clause. Okay, this is the reason you have to make present tense, but whatever, that rule is, you just have to memorize this important rule. 食べる前に宿題をした。But the thing is, like, it's more like, okay, you just automatically saying present tense if you want to say 前。行く前に聞いてね。帰る前に電話してね。Netflix 見る前に宿題してね。It's just that when you want to use before, just use present tense. Okay, next grammar he explained is 手 form plus から。手から。What is から ?What is からからは何だった？から represent starting point.Always starting point. For example, why did you be late as me? Oh, because of the train. Train delayed. 電車が遅れたから遅刻した。So, like, から is used for reason, right? But, like, the reason is stating that what's the starting point this consequence happens. So after all, it is like stating the starting point. 電車が遅れたから遅刻した。ブラブラブラからブラブラブラ B. So A action から B. That's right, デビッドさん。だからそうですね。だから is implying the prior statement. 電車が遅れた prior statement. だから遅刻した。You are just pointing out the starting point why this consequence occurred. Okay, verb 手 form plus から can describe the order. 食べてから宿題をしてね。食べてから宿題をする。食べてから宿題をする means 食べる first and do 宿題。Okay, から is a preposition, so I marked green. 食べてから宿題をします。Okay, the interesting thing that Genki textbook didn't introduce, but I would do is this grammar. Past tense. あと。Okay, what is あと？あと知ってる？あと。あと is the opposite of 前。There we go. So 前 is before, right? So, of course, 後 is after. 食べた後で宿題をする。食べた後で宿題をする。後 is noun. So you're gonna modify 後 a noun via 食べる verb. However, 食べる always has to be past tense. Okay, why? Because of the exact same reason I just explained earlier. Think about your standing point. You are standing on point of 宿題をする. When you do 宿題, the action of 食べる already has been done or not? Yes, it is because it's 後. So, in the main clause standing point, subclause action already has been made that you always make past tense. 食べた後で宿題をする. I think this is not so difficult than the grammar. Yeah. Yeah, I encounter often like 食べた前, that wrong grammar. But 食べた後, this past tense plus 後 is not that difficult for learners. It's very interesting. Probably people tend to have more making past tense sentences. And when you make past tense sentences, you encounter this difficulty. 前, that before noun. Okay. So, this is how you can describe the sequence. 食べる前に宿題をしてね。宿題 first. Then 食べる。食べる前に宿題をしてね。食べてから宿題をしてね。宿題 later. 食べる first. 食べてから宿題をしてね。But this is a form. You can use also actually using noun 後。食べた後で宿題をしてね。食べた後で宿題をしてね。This is a sequence event. That's all for lesson 17. Well done. はい、質問ありますか？質問があったらコメントをぜひしてくださいね。Yes. はーい。今日はね、ここまでだよ。あ、でもね、この後ニュースを読むんだけどね。It was really interesting that the Genki only introduced 食べる前に and 食べてから and they didn't introduce 食べた後で。Because I feel that 前 and 後 should be like considered as a set so that yeah, I don't know. I like to see the words like in a big picture. And 前 is such a like an important word like position opposite to 後. So 前 and 後 should be considered like an opposite trait, opposite quality. Then it's only just represented one side. It's really unbalanced to me. That's what I feel. Anyway. はい。というわけで今日のストリーミング Practice Speaking English はここまでです。My contents are Sumiism. In this, my YouTube channel, you can see our past all streaming sessions regarding Genki textbook 1 and 2. So if you have time, please take a look. And after this 5 minutes break, I'm gonna read a news article on the NHK. So if you have time, please stick around. 5分後にニュースを読みます。休憩します。Okay, very good. 前に進む時が来た。 何にする？道で泣いていた女の子。オッペンハイマー。車やバイクの5つの会社。天安門事件。6月は税金が安くなる。税金？税金の言葉難しいね。ちょっとやめよう。観光特急京都？ちょっと待って。観光特急京都。どれがいい？あんまり興味ないんかな。もっと面白いのないかな。なんか面白いのがいいね。オレンジジュースが足りない。ああ。これ面白くないね。なんだこの数字ばっかりの。じゃあこれいこうか。有名な人の名前。あ困ったな。どれにしようかな。富士山見たね。みんなが聞いた歌やったね。電気代。キャベツが高い。素晴らしい研究を行った女性。野菜の値段が上がってる。なんかお金の話ばっかりだね。全然楽しくないな。分かった。ちょっと待って。女の人の研究行こう。素晴らしい研究を行った日本の女性に賞を贈る。そうなんだ。OK、分かった。私はこれにするよ。今日、素晴らしい研究を行った日本の女性、研究者に賞を贈るにしよう。NHK ワールドニュース。女性の研究者でしょ？スカラーかな。全然違う。全然出ないね。アワードにしようか。アワード。ないね。なんだろう。研究者ってスカラーじゃない？リサーチャー。ないね。このニュースないね。ポーランドか。ないね。フィメオ。ないな。ないか。よかった。Female researcher. Marie Curie Award ね。こういう名前なんだ。 ないのかな。何？もう一回やって。OK。できた。やっとあったよ。時間かかったな。あ、理化学研究所か。うん。Third Marie Curie Award for Young Female。ないじゃん。OK。はい。じゃあ今日これ読みます。うん。6月5日545回はい、始めます。Hello everyone, thank you for listening. This is Azmi's Easy Japanese Small Talk. Today, I read the NHK News Web Easy article 3rd Mercury Scholar's Curie Award for Young Female Researchers. Before I begin, here's my information. Here's the information. Here's my information. Here's the information I want to share with you. I recently started to offer group lessons for A1, A2, B1 learners on Italki, a language learning platform. If you're interested in to speak with me, please check it out. The description of the episode. Alrighty, that's been said, let's get started. 皆さんありがとうございます。こんにちは、あずみです。Azmi's Easy Japanese Small Talk第545回目。今日は6月5日水曜日です。6月だよ。6月だ。6月。はい、6月だね。びっくりしない？びっくりだよね。6月だよ。はい、今日読む記事は素晴らしい研究を行った日本の女性の研究者に賞を贈るを読みます。お楽しみに。はい。6月は、日本は雨です。あなたが住んでいるところは雨が降りますか？私が住んでいるところは雨がちょっと降ります。でも、すごく暑いです。日本は暑くなる前にたくさん雨が降る季節があるんですね。梅雨です。雨はね、暑いのとはまたちょっと違うよね。暑いけどね。はい。というわけで今日は雨とは関係ない記事、研究者の記事です。 素晴らしい研究を行った日本の女性の研究者に賞を贈る。日本の科学技術振興機構は、ポーランドの大使館と一緒に素晴らしい研究を行った日本の女性の若い研究者に賞を贈っています。ポーランドは女性で初めてノーベル賞をもらったマリー・キュリーさんが生まれた国です。23日、東京で賞を贈る式がありました。今年の一番素晴らしい賞は、東京大学の森脇香奈さんがもらいました。森脇さんは宇宙がどのように始まって変わってきたか、コンピューターを使って調べる研究をしています。近畿大学の太田圭さんとトロント大学の三谷彩さんも賞をもらいました。国によると、日本の研究者の中で女性の割合は2021年は 17.5% でした。OECD に入っている国や地域の中で一番低くなっています。科学技術振興機構は、女性の研究者が結婚したり、子供を産んだりしても、研究を続けていくことができるようにすることが大切だと言っています。OK、はい、この人が多分森脇さんですね。この写真の女の人。タイトル、素晴らしい研究を行った日本の女性の研究者に賞を贈る。素晴らしい、いいアジェクティブですね。でもね、あんまりカジュアルで使わないでしょ。フォーマルなんだよね。カジュアルだとすごいとかね、言います。でもフォーマルだと素晴らしい。はい、素晴らしい研究。はい、研究というのは勉強することですね。大学で勉強している人、研究と言います。研究を行った日本の女性の研究者に賞を贈る。すごいのが2つつながってるな。日本の女性の研究者。はい。この賞は、日本の研究者、日本で研究している人のための賞です。でも、日本の研究者全員のためのものじゃなくて、女性のため。女性のため。だから、日本の女性の研究者。はい。どんな人に賞を贈りますか？賞はね、アワード。頑張りましたね。というものですね。はい。で、アワードはね、いつも贈るというこの漢字、プレゼントの漢字を使います。贈る。はい。素晴らしい研究を行った研究者なんですけど、行う。はい。verb ですね。でもこれは、するでもいいです。素晴らしい研究をした研究者。はい。行った研究者。はい。行うの方がちょっとフォーマルです。それだけ。行う。はい。読みましょう。日本の科学技術振興機構は、ポーランドの大使館と一緒に、素晴らしい研究を行った日本の女性の若い研究者に賞を贈っています。長いけど、いくよ。まず、subject、誰？はい。これです。科学技術振興機構は、particle marked subject agent。はい。科学技術振興機構。これよくわからないけど名前だよね。本当に素晴らしいよね、皆さんね。その通り。Spark excellent。はい。科学技術振興機構は、グループの名前、オーガニゼーションの名前なんだけど、はい。あんまり気にしなくていいです。オーガニゼーションが何をしましたか？はい。アクションはこれ、送っています。はい。送るというのは、プレゼントをあげることです。はい。テイルフォームになってるね。だから、いつもしてるというのがわかります。はい。送っています。はい。 プレゼントとか他にはこんなものね、アワード、賞を送ります。はい。賞、褒めること。褒めるだけなんですけど。すごいすごいすごい。はい、褒めると言います。賞を送っています。はい。じゃあ、送る人だよね。ディレクション。誰に送りますか？もちろんにパーティクルです。研究者に送ります。研究する人に送ります。でも、どんな研究者？はい、こんな研究者です。若い研究者。いいアジェクティブ。それから、女性の研究者。女の人です。若いです。それから日本の研究者。多分に日本人かな。日本人じゃないとダメなんだ。もう一つ。素晴らしい研究を行った研究者。はい。研究者が4つの言葉でモディファイされてますよ。いきます。素晴らしい研究を行った日本の女性の若い研究者に賞を送っています。全部ね、最後にモディファイされる、くっつけます。ポーランドは女性で初めてノーベル賞をもらったマリー・キュリーさんが生まれた国です。これもすごい長いけど、いくよ。サブジェクト。ポーランドはパーティクルですね。マークしてます。ポーランドは国です。これが文です。ポーランドは国です。はい。どんな国ですか？こんな国。何々々が生まれた国。はい。マリー・キュリーさんが生まれた国。マリー・キュリーさんが生まれた国です。そうなんだ。マリー・キュリーさんが、はい。がパーティクルね。モディファイしているので、モディファイしている中はがになります。マリー・キュリーさんは生まれました。これがマリー・キュリーさんが生まれた国になります。はい。それから、マリー・キュリーさんは誰ですか？女性で初めてノーベル賞をもらったマリー・キュリーさん。はい。もらう、モディファイ。マリー・キュリーさん。はい。もらう。何を？ノーベル賞をもらう。女性で初めてノーベル賞をもらったマリー・キュリーさんが生まれた国です。はい。ポーランドの説明長かったですね。全部で読みましょうか。ポーランドは国です。はい。ポーランドは女性で初めてノーベル賞をもらったマリー・キュリーさんが生まれた国です。次。23日、東京で賞を贈る式がありました。はい、ありますセンテンス。イベントですね。はい、例えば、家にテレビがあります。日本に富士山があります。existence ですね。これはにを使います。日本に富士山がある。家にテレビがある。でも、式はセレモニーです。イベントです。だからにを使いません。東京でセレモニーがありました。東京で式がありました。はい、式、どんな式？賞を贈る式。賞を贈る、modify 式、セレモニー。賞を贈る式がありました。いつ？ 23 日です。はい、全部でこうなる。23日、東京で賞を贈る式がありました。今年の一番素晴らしい賞は、東京大学の森脇香奈さんがもらいました。これ、ちょっと普通と違うオーダーなんだけどわかる？普通のオーダーいくよ。森脇香奈さんは、今年の一番素晴らしい賞をもらいました。普通ね。森脇香奈さん、アクションがフィーチャーされてるんだけど、今回はね、この今年の素晴らしい賞がフィーチャーなの。だからここがワパーリコです。今年の一番素晴らしい賞は、はい。 東京大学の森脇かなさんがもらった。はい、ここね。素晴らしい賞について私は話したい。トピックマーカー。だから、この賞、誰がもらった？アイデンティファイアがパリコです。森脇かなさんがもらったよ。になるんだけど、この文は難しい文だと思う。はい、読みましょう。今年の一番素晴らしい賞は、東京大学の森脇かなさんがもらいました。日本語でよくあるんだけど、X は Y が adjective。あずみさんの頭が黒いですとか。違う、間違った。あずみさんは頭が大きいです。X は Y が adjective ね。でもここ adjective じゃないでしょ。verb なの。今年の一番素晴らしい賞は森脇かなさんがもらいました。そう、verb でもこれを使うんだよね。X は Y が verb。はい、森脇さんは宇宙がどのように始まって変わってきたか、コンピューターを使って調べる研究をしています。はい、森脇さんは subject、 研究をしています。verb、 tail form。森脇さんは研究をしています。どんな研究をしていますか？はい、コンピューターを使って調べる研究です。2つのアクションでフォームですね。使うプラス調べる。使って調べる。コンピューターを使って調べる研究です。でも何を調べますか？オブジェクト。調べるのオブジェクトは embedded question。はい。宇宙がどのように始まって変わってきたかを調べる研究です。embedded question というのは make a close。はい。かを使ってこのね、close を作るんだけど、この時 O がいらなくなる。宇宙がどのように始まって変わってきたか調べます。宇宙がどのように始まって変わってきたかを調べます。どっちでもいいです。はい。宇宙が、はい、エンベディドクエスチョンの中もはパリコ使いません。replaced がパリコ。宇宙がどのように始まって変わってきたか。はい。てくるグラマー。in the process。こういうふうに進んできました。始まる、変わる、変わる、変わる、変わる、変わる。in the process ね。始まって変わってきたかを調べる研究をしています。近畿大学の太田圭さんとトロント大学の三谷彩さんも賞をもらいました。はい、他にもあと2人賞をもらったんですね。国によると、日本の研究者の中で女性の割合は2021年は 17.5% でした。はい、国によると、はい、国の情報です。によると。日本の研究者の中で、女性の割合、どれぐらい多いですか？はい、割合と言います。どれぐらい多いですか？少ないですか？女性の割合は2021年は 17.5% でした。女性の割合は 17.5%。とても低いです。割合が小さいです。OECD に入っている国や地域の中で一番低くなっています。この低くなっている、なるテイルフォームなんだけど、実はすごくね、モダンジャパニーズですね。この文はこうじゃなくてもよかった。いくよ。OECD に入っている国や地域の中で一番低いです。でいいのに、低くなっています。なんか低くなっていますって言うとチェンジがあるみたいでしょ？ to become だからチェンジ。でも実際はチェンジがないんだよね。低いの。ずっと低いの。はい。低くなるっ って言ったら、前は30だった。30、25、17かなと思うでしょ。低くなっていますってそういうことだよね。でもね、モダンジャパニーズでは、チェンジがないのになるを使うことがある。はい。科学技術振興機構は、女性の研究者が結婚したり、子供を産んだりしても、研究を続けていくことができるようにすることが大切だと言っています。長い。はい。科学技術機構、さっきのオーガニゼーションだね。はい。サブジェクトです。はい。verb と言っています。はい。何を言っていますか？はい。something が大切です。何が大切でした？こんなことが大切。はい。何かできるようにすること。はい。何をする？女性が研究を続けていくことができるようにする。すっごい複雑な文章になったね。つまり女性は研究を続けていくことが難しい。だから女性が研究続けていくことができるようにしましょう。どうして続けていくことが難しいんですか？結婚したり子供を産んだりするからです。結婚したり子供を産んだりすると研究が続けられないことがある。だから結婚したり子供を産んだ時は続けるのが難しいよ。だから続けられるようにサポートしましょうというのが今回の記事でした。はい、今日の記事どうでしたか？質問ありますか？チャットに質問を送ってください。素晴らしい研究を行った日本の女性の研究者に賞を贈る。どうですか？大切なことだと思いますか？いい記事だと思いますか？はい、いい記事だと思います。大切なことだと思います。この記事を見たときに日本人が思うこと思うんじゃないかなと私が思うことは、研究者という言葉を使うときに女の人を想像しない。研究者という仕事をしているのはいつも男の人です。日本では 17.5% というのは結構予想より多いけど、私はね 17.5 は予想より大きい数字だった。でも研究者っていう時みんな男の人だと思うよって私は思っちゃうはい。だから研究者女の人いるよ、研究者若い人いるよ、日本に研究者がいるよというのを伝える。こういうふうに賞を送って伝えること。そうすると、あ、女の人で研究者いるんだってみんなが知ること。そうすると、あ、私も研究者したいなってなること。それってすごく大切だと思いました。今日も聞いて